Hi, Domenica here from Easy Sewing for Beginners. In this video today, I'll be showing you how to use this buttonhole foot using the Brother XM2701 sewing machine. Be sure to check out the playlist where I have a collection of tutorials on how to use this sewing machine and the accessories that come with it. Okay, so to get started, you need the buttonhole foot and the button that you'll be using. So at the top of the buttonhole foot here, there's a part that you can open up just by pushing this part up. And you'll insert your button that you'll be using into that top bit and push it closed. Make sure that it's holding the button nice and snug there. And so this will actually help the machine determine how long your buttonhole stitches will need to go. Next, we're going to remove this existing presser foot just by pressing this little button at the back here. And we're going to place the buttonhole foot underneath. I might need to use the presser foot lever just to lift it up a bit and make it a bit easier. Once it's underneath, drop that presser foot down, okay, to snap it on like that. Now while we're here, we're also going to bring down this buttonhole lever. Now you'll see it right under here, it has the word push on it. So you're going to pull that lever right down, okay? And then to make sure it's activated, you need to push it back as well. Now for the settings, I'm going to leave the tension on 4. I'm going to change the stitch width to a 5. That'll be the widest stitch width that this machine will be able to do. Now the stitch length you can do anywhere from 1.5 right down to just before 0. Now the closer to 0 you have it, the closer your stitches will be, and the closer to 1, the stitches will be a little bit further apart. So I'm just going to put it around about here for my first test run. Now the buttonhole stitch selection is number 1, so I'm just going to make sure that I've turned it to 1 on the stitch dial here. Next we're going to mark where we want the bottom of the buttonholes to be. Because we inserted the button into the buttonhole foot, that will determine the length for us. So before we get started, I'm just going to make sure that this top thread is running under the buttonhole foot. So to do that, I'm just going to put my fabric under, lower the presser foot, and then use the hand wheel to lower the needle and bring it back up again. And then I can just lift the presser foot and then pull the fabric out, and this will pull the thread with it. And now I have that top thread running under the presser foot. Okay, now that we're ready to sew the buttonhole, we need to line up this mark inside this little window on the presser foot there. Okay, so you should be able to see it right in the middle. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, now double check that this lever has been pushed back, so it should click when you push it back. I'm going to hold the top thread out to the left here while I get started. Now the machine is going to do a couple of bar tacks at the beginning. And then it will work its way up the left. Once it reaches that point and that lever pushes back, it'll start working its way down the right. Now once it gets back to the beginning, the machine won't automatically stop itself. So I like to do maybe just 2 or 3 stitches. Make sure the needle is in the highest position. And then press the foot up, take it out. Okay, so this is what the buttonhole will look like on those settings that we started with. So now I'm just going to snip all those little thread tails off. Next I'm going to grab a quick unpick and I'm going to very carefully use the sharp end just to poke it in between the buttonhole stitches there, and I'm going to carefully rip up the fabric in between. Now what I like to do is get the top of the quick unpick and just poke it through the fabric just before those stitches at the top, and then rip all the way through. Okay, if you're worried about accidentally ripping the stitches at the top there, what you could do before you start ripping the fabric with the quick unpick is to pop a pin right at the top there, and that'll give you a bit of a safety net from accidentally going all the way through with your quick unpick. Okay, now I'm just going to test that the button fits into the buttonhole nicely. There we go, it's quite a nice fit. Now if you want your buttonholes to look more like this, I'm going to share my top tips for doing that next. Now we're going to move our stitch dial just before the 0. Now I'm going to put some of this tearaway stabilizer behind the buttonhole underneath. Okay, it's very easy to rip. Okay, so I'm going to place that underneath, just like that. And then I'm going to put my fabric back under the buttonhole, just like the first time. Now just make sure the buttonhole lever is pushed back. You need to do that every time you start a new buttonhole. Okay, and off it goes. Now it's going to take a little bit longer because it's doing a tight satin stitch. Okay, so this is what it looks like on a really tight stitch length. I'm going to snip these thread tails off. Now I can rip this stabilizer off. Now the stitches are really close together in the middle here, so I need to be super careful when I'm ripping the fabric with the quick unpick, so I don't accidentally rip through the stitches as well. And there we go, look at that professional looking buttonhole with this entry-level sewing machine. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave any questions or comments down below, and don't forget to check out my other tutorials and easy sewing projects. I'll see you next time. Bye!